Namaste. This is Thunder Hands. Everybody likes to use that greeting, so figured I'd do it today. Because I'm talking about ancient meditation techniques, and I'm actually going to show you some ancient meditation techniques that will help you in your everyday life. The reason that I think that this is so important is because I have been running into a lot of people lately that are out of balance, and it's not their fault. It's the world that we live in is out of balance, the yin and yang, and I'll show you a little bit more about that later. So it's going to affect everybody. So the techniques that I'm going to teach you today, just a little bit about my background and my credentials, quote unquote. I have been practicing meditation officially with the Kriya method, or the Kriya method, since 1987. And basically what the Kriya method is a form of moving the energy, which I talked about before, and you might want to review a show I did about shaman, medicine men, and yogis, and I explained the energy thing, but I'll explain that too a little bit today. But I have been practicing since '87 as a practicing yogi, amongst other things. And then I have studied other traditions that kind of dovetail in or are the same thing, but from a different culture. So I'm going to kind of mix it up today, and you're going to get a rare treat here today if I can be so bold as to say that, because you're going to learn some things that not too many people know that are going to help you balance your energy, okay? And they're going to help you center. They're going to and centering means centering the energy, centering the spirit in yourself, so that you can deal with life in a more in an easier fashion, in a more go with the flow type fashion. So I'm going to just teach you some of these things off the top of my head, and I'm going to be pulling up some charts so you'll know what I'm talking about from time to time. So I may pause this video and then bring up a chart, but you won't notice the pause. It'll just be like that. Now, the first two things I think that are the most important things in meditation are breathing and posture. Okay, and the first thing that I'm going to touch on right now is posture. Okay. And this is the most important thing, or one of the most important things, because if you don't have this right, it probably will be a lot harder. And I might mention at this point that this posture is applicable to whether you're standing, walking, because there's all kinds of different meditations. There's moving meditation, there's walking, there's, and so the ultimate goal is to be walking around in meditation all the time. So back to posture. This is the number one thing that I want you to get. Posture, you must, whatever you're doing, standing, sitting, whatever, you want to keep your spine straight, okay? And that doesn't mean curving your back way in. It just means keeping your spine straight. Sitting straight up with your shoulders slightly back but relaxed. And however you're sitting might determine, how hard this is going to be. But you could sit on the edge of a chair or bed, but your feet must be flat on the floor, because the reason I say that is because you want to suck up the energy from Mother Earth, the chi, okay, the prana as the Hindu call it, chi in Chinese. You want to suck that up from Mother Earth because that's yin energy. So you want your spine straight, and you might imagine a hook on the top of your head right about the crown, or a little back from the crown, kind of gently pulling up, like there's a string attached there, and that it's gently pulling you up, kind of stretching your spine a little, but at the same time relaxing, okay? Letting the shoulders just relax. Now if you're sitting on a chair, or if you're in a lotus position, or whatever position, on your knees, you can do it several different ways. As long as from the waist up your spine is straight, you can rest your hands either just palms up, or what they call in a mudra, which is touching your thumb and your index finger and letting it lay like that. And that has a special meaning and intensity. So the next thing I want to talk about, now we got that, right? We got that you want to sit with your spine straight so that you can breathe properly and the energy can move up the Ren channel and Du channel, which is the front channel and back channel of the meridians in your body, which I'll show you a picture of. So you want to make sure that your spine is straight and that you're relaxed and that your breathing is relaxed. Now here's a technique, here's something that not too many people know, and this is why I say you're going to get a lot here today that nobody knows about. A lot of people know about it, but majority of people don't know about it that go to these yoga classes or whatever, or breathing, or the movement of energy. They just get out there and go through the motions. But I'm going to tell you the esoteric side, or the spiritual side, which is going to bring about some changes in you, so get ready for them. Now, the first thing I want to mention is that you always keep the tongue on the roof of your mouth. And it kind of just lays there anyway, but it can be in two places, behind the teeth, but you want your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Why? Because there's a channel that comes right down your face and connects, and this is the Ren channel, which I'll talk about later, and it connects right here in the roof of your mouth. If you don't have your tongue up there, it's like a little switch, okay? it's going to be harder for the energy to flow. So you want your tongue on the roof of your mouth, okay? And there's two places you can put it, behind the teeth, or you can curl it slightly back. You know, you curl the tongue back and place it in what we call the jade pool, which is that soft spot on the top of your palate. If you run your tongue along, it's hard, but then you get to a softer spot. This is really advanced. This is called Kachari Mudra. So you can put it in those two places. Your spine is straight, okay, your mouth is closed, and you breathe through your nose. Not through your mouth, through your nose. There's a reason for that. It's more pure. So we got these things, two things down. We got the breathing and the posture and the sitting with the feet on the floor. I guess that's three things. And then we got the... Now the next thing I want to talk about is the breathing part, okay? This is very important. You breathe into the abdomen, and the way you do that is most people think that when you breathe you're expanding your lungs, you're blowing them up like a balloon. That's not how we breathe. Most people don't know that. The reason that they don't know is because nobody tells them. But the proper viewpoint is to realize is that when you breathe, you're dropping your diaphragm. Okay, that's really the proper way to breathe. We're doing that anyway, but we're not doing it enough. So when you breathe into the abdominal area, you're dropping your diaphragm down, the muscles down into your stomach, which expands slightly, and then what happens is it opens up the lungs drop down, and when the lungs drop down, they suck in the air. It's not we're breathing in the air, we're actually allowing the air to move down into our lungs. So I'm going to pause the video here right now, and I'm going to show you some things about what I've been talking about. So it's just going to be a quick flash here. Okay, so here's the first chart, and it's called Microcosmic Orbit. And it shows you the body sitting there in meditation, kind of a crude drawing here. But the energy moves up from here, the bottom, Hu Yin it's called in Chinese, and it's right here down by the genitals, in between the legs, Hu Yin, and it's called the gate of death and life, because a lot of energy comes through there, okay? And the energy goes up the back, and we have right near the spine here, we have what we call Ming Men, which is your door of life. Okay, a lot of energy comes through there too. Okay, so when you're breathing into your abdomen. Okay, and remember, when you're breathing, as I said before in one of my previous videos, it doesn't have to do about just breath or oxygen, but it's movement of the chi or prana or the energy, okay? And so when you breathe into the abdomen and with your tongue on the roof of your mouth and your spine straight and your feet flat on the floor down here, you want to imagine drawing energy up from, like through a straw, okay, up your back. And that energy is going to either feel like maybe a little hot or a little cold. You might not feel it right away. In fact, you probably won't. You're going to have to do this for a while to just feel it. But some people feel it right away. So it goes up the back here from Hu Yin through Ming Men. And it goes up here, runs up over what we call the crown chakra and the pineal gland here. Pineal gland at the crown. And I'll talk about the pineal gland. That's an interesting gland. That's completely isolated and floating in fluid in your brain. Then you have the Pituitary Gland, which is the third eye. And this energy, as you're breathing in, you're sucking this energy up. You're imagining that you're sucking up some kind of cool liquid up the back of your spine and raising it up. Now, whether you feel it or not, like I said at first, is irrelevant. You will feel it. And then as you breathe out, you might picture it going down the Ren channel through where your tongue is connecting on the roof of your mouth, down the front, down to your, what they call the Chi Chung navel spleen, or also this is called the Dantian, Tantien, Dantian. Things that are spelled with a T, like Taoist and Dantian, are pronounced D most of the time. So anyway, that's what you're doing when you're meditating. You're relaxing, you're totally relaxed, you're breathing in your abdomen, you got the tongue on the roof of your mouth, spine straight, pretending like you're sipping through a straw mentally. Okay, that's how you move the chi, is mentally. And up the spine it goes, you're imagining it, and then up to the top of the head and through the little down here. And you can do this in one breath, or you can do it in two. It doesn't matter. Alright, we won't concern ourselves with that right now. But that's same as Kriya, only in Chinese it's called the Microcosmic Orbit. And this is circulating. And the front vessel here, or the meridian, is called the Ren channel, or the functional channel, or the conception vessel. And this is the governing channel back here. So it's Du, Du, and Ren in Chinese, or in the acupuncture terminology. Okay, so I wanted to just show you this real quick. This is the yin-yang sign that I've talked about. This one has a little aura around it. But basically this is the sign. Yin is dark, and this is white. And within the dark there's a little bit of yang. This is yang, yin, yin, yang. Yang female, yang male, yin female. Okay, this is what I call the duality that I keep talking about. This is what circulates in this illusion we call life. This is what is the activating force. And this is what we're trying to balance out in meditation, so I thought I'd show you that real quick. Here's another picture of the Ren channel that runs up the front of the body. This is used in acupuncture, and these are all little acupuncture points, and that's where you're running the energy when you meditate. That's the advanced goal. It's coming over the head and down through the mouth, through the tongue, and it's running down here. And the Dantian that I talked about, or the Hara, as the Japanese call it, is the center of energy right below the navel. Okay, right in this area here. This is called the Ren channel. This is called the Du channel, and this is in the rear, or the back, or the spine. Let me say that the energy runs up the spine, okay, from down here at Hu Yin all the way up through Ming Men and to the crown chakra. Okay, and here shows where the teeth, it actually comes down by the tongue. If your tongue is back here, shows the connection here that you want to. That's why I say you have to keep the tongue on the roof of your mouth. Okay, so those are the graphs that you can use. So your spine is straight, your tongue's on the roof of your mouth. You can refer to those graphs or those charts anytime you want to remember what I said, because I know there's a lot of information here. And incidentally, I'm wearing a little yin-yang sign around my neck today. which is one of the things I wear just out and about, whatever, just to remind me. So you're breathing into your abdomen and you're letting your diaphragm fall and you're just letting the air flow in. You got the tongue on the roof of your mouth, and I'm going to keep going over this, and your spine is straight, you're relaxed. You got your hands palm up on your knees, feet flat on the floor. So what you do is you take a slow breath in through the nose, and as you're doing this, you're imagining the energy going up your spine, or that you're pulling the energy through a thin straw, because there is a little nerve or a little energy channel in there with the dew channel in the spine called the Ida and the Pingala, and it runs up the front and back. Get into that later. Also, sometimes, you can use sexual energy to draw up the spine too, and that's what Tantra Yoga is about, and it's all the same energy, really. You're just generating it sexually. So as you breathe in, you breathe this energy, you imagine it up your spine, and then you breathe out, you imagine it going down the front. And you're just relaxing, you're letting you're breathing in slow, just a nice slow through the mouth, through the nose, not the mouth, into your abdomen, and then you release it slowly. You just let it, you don't force it out, you just let it go out on its own. Now the next thing that we're going to address, and this is probably going to be the last thing in this video, I might have to do another video, I probably will. If you have any questions, you can always email me at my website, Native American Taoist, which I will be showing you about, which is where you should be if you want to learn these things. Where was I now? Anyway, so as you're doing the breathing, the next thing that you want to remember is a mantra. Okay, and this is very, very, very important. Okay, so we're going to use a mantra that I use. Okay, you can use anything. You can say in and out if you want to. But the point of having a mantra is to help you concentrate. But one of the mantras they use in Kriya Yoga, which is not something that is secret or, one of the things that you swear you can't tell. This is something that a lot of people know about anyway, so I'm just going to tell you. And in different, like the Chinese use a different word, but it has meaning. So as you breathe in, as you're breathing in, you want to say Hong, Hong, and that's like Hong Kong, only you want to say Hong. And as you're breathing in, you're just saying, every time you watch your breath, this is the kind of feeling that you want to get as you're sitting there relaxing, is that you're just watching your breath, okay? You're not breathing, you're watching yourself being breathed. Because basically that's what's happening anyway. The subconscious is the one that breathes us. So you need to relax and just watch your breath. And right now we're not going to keep it at any particular count, but just as long as you breathe in fully. Anyway, so when you breathe in, when you notice yourself starting to breathe in, you say Hong, as long as you're breathing in. And then when you notice yourself starting to breathe out, naturally, you say Saw, like saw, S-A-W, but it's really spelled S-A-U. So it's hung saw. Okay, but you say this to yourself in your mind. You think it. Hung as you breathe in, saw as you breathe out. Okay? And the very important thing about this is that when you're breathing in and saying hung and breathing out saying saw, you're watching yourself do it. You're watching your breath. This is very important. You just watch your breath, just like if you were just sitting there normally and then all of a sudden you just started watching the way you were breathing. Of course, when you do that, all of a sudden this control thing in your head tries to say, oh, I'm breathing, I got to breathe a certain way. No, just let yourself breathe like you normally breathe without thinking about it. Do that all day long. The only thing is you might enhance it a little by knowing that you're breathing into the abdomen, you're opening up the lungs, and this energy's moving. Rome wasn't built in a day, so don't expect like you're going to become a guru or yogi overnight like me. Little bit of humor there. I got to remain humble. So let's go over some of this stuff that I talked about real quick. Okay, so you got the straight spine, your feet are flat on the floor, your hands are up in the mudra position or just the palm up position, resting on your knees. Your spine is straight, but your shoulders are just relaxed, okay? And it feels like a string's kind of pulling up on your head. Put the tongue on the roof of your mouth. Just lay it there, it's no big deal. It's very comfortable, okay? Keep your mouth closed. As you breathe in, you say hung. As you breathe out, you say saw, and you're watching your breath. And it's going up these channels that I talked about earlier. And so what you're doing is you're basically just sitting there. If you want to simplify this, I just added all that esoteric stuff so that as you progress, you will be able to realize what you're doing. But to start off with, just sit there and breathe. And watch yourself breathe with the tongue on the roof of your mouth and your spine straight. In the position. Assume the position. And then just relax and breathe like you're just sitting there. Effortless. Okay? You're just watching yourself breathe with your eyes closed. Try that to start with. Okay, keeping the spine straight, breathing slowly, and then out. Okay. So this is a good start for you. This is, I think, just about where we should end it today. But you're going to start noticing energy moving around your body when you do this. It's very powerful. Seems simple. It's not. I taught you some pretty heavy stuff today. I mean, if you went to a yoga instructor or some kind of instructor on, meditation techniques or whatever, you would pay big bucks for this. Okay? But you're getting this, Thunder is giving this to you because I realize that the world is in a situation where you need to center and relax. Okay? And this meditation can be used, as we will see later on, for all kinds of purposes, including, like I mentioned before, enhancing your, making love with in your relationship and using this to raise your consciousness, both of you together. That's one thing. That's called Tantrika, which I practice, or Tantra Yoga, or Kundalini union. And actually, when you're moving this energy, that energy is the Kundalini energy, because you're raising it from the base of your spine and you're going through all the energy centers in your body. As it rotates, it goes through all the energy centers. It goes through the third eye and the crown chakra and the throat chakra, and then you have the, can't see it on here, but you have the heart chakra, and then in the solar plexus you have the solar plexus chakra, and then just beneath the navel you have the Dantian chakra, and then between the legs down by the genitals you have the base chakra, which is where your sexual energy is generated. That, and just below the navel. That's why you get that feeling down there when you get aroused, because those centers are opening up. But you want this energy to actually flow up and open all your centers, and imagine how that feels. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a little bit about my website and what I talked before about getting off Facebook and getting to this site. So hold on just a second here. Okay, so this is my website, Roger Thunderhands Gilbert, the Native American Taoist, Taoist. And it's just like Facebook in a way, only it's not the restrictive policies that they have on. This is my own site. I want you to go here, and I ask people to do this, and I just don't think they understand. They come here because I know I got a lot of hits, but you, like I said, if you want to follow this blog, you got to click here. People aren't doing that. And then join this site, you got to click there, okay? You don't have to, you can come here. I mean, I'm just saying, if you want to, it's up to you. If you want to get emails about what I'm doing, okay? And this show will be on here too. This latest show will be on here. So it's the NativeAmericanTaoist.com. And I wanted to show you this, and from here you can go to Spirit of Crazy Horse, which is my kind of commercial site, because that's where I sell my book, Listen to the Wind, Speak from the Heart, Emergence. And I talk about this stuff in there. And then Thunder in the Wind is the follow-up to Emergence. So that's the sequence. And you got a mailing list here. Please fill that out. People are doing that. Now that's one thing they are doing. It's like I'm getting a lot of new people filling that out, but I'm just asking that you go down here. Oh, that's the other side. Okay. Got to go back to the other side here. They're filling out at the Native American Taoist. They're filling out the newsletter here. But they're not going down here and clicking on this, and this will just add you. It's no big deal. It's like when you signed up for Facebook. You don't even need a password, I don't think. It just says use Facebook to sign up or whatever. So, you know, if you want to do that, I'd appreciate it. And then if you think that this video is worth anything, please donate whatever amount you think you can afford, because I got to pay for things to keep these shows going. So I appreciate that if you can do it. If you can't, well, that's okay too. And then right here, you can find out about my seminars and me doing this stuff live. Okay, and my email's right underneath that if you need to contact me about it. Okay, so I think I covered everything here. Don't forget to review the video if you have any. Just review it and pause it and think about it. Think about what I'm saying. Look at the charts I showed. I can't emphasize enough that you're not going to go to any studio anywhere and get this stuff. I crammed a bunch of stuff in about 30 minutes that took me a lifetime to learn, okay? Or at least a good deal of my lifetime, and then the rest of it was practice. I'm going to be showing you some other stuff too that's going to blow your mind. But if you do it, and I got to emphasize this, you can't just look at this video and go, oh yeah, that's cool, because you'll never get the benefits of it. You have to practice this stuff. Okay, most people are they're just so busy. I guarantee you, if you practice this, little techniques that I showed you today, your life's going to change. You are going to be more relaxed, more in tune, more aware, and the energy is going to start flowing in your body. And guess what, people? This energy is healing on all kinds of levels, physical, spiritual, and mental. And I truly mean that, healing. Okay, because you're allowing this healing energy to flow through your body. And not only does it raise your consciousness, but it spreads out into the meridians of your body and helps stop the aging process. Why do you think some yogis live to be so long and they look so young? And there's yoginis too, and let me tell you, they're beautiful. They shine. So if you couple this with the asanas, which is the yoga that most people go to these classes, and the stretches and all that, then you soon realize that it's not just about going through these poses and the asanas, it's about this core meditation, because when you're doing those poses you can breathe certain ways and you can do all of the stuff that I'm teaching you right here. But most people don't know that. They just go and go, oh yeah, I'm doing this and doing that and arching my back, but they don't know anything about the energy, and this is what I'm telling you right now. So anyway, I think that's enough for today. And in Hindu they have a word called peace, which is shanti. So I will say shanti, peace to you. And until I see you again, I'm out of here. This is Thunder. It's the end of the show. Bye.